Atomic Heart is a new first-person shooter game that has already caused a lot of controversies but has also gained a lot of dedicated fans, and in general, has positive reviews. It is a bit reminiscent of the Fallout and maybe even the Outer Worlds, with a pinch of We Happy Few. It's an alternate history focusing on the Soviet Union era, specifically World War II. In Atomic Heart, the player character is a veteran that has memory problems. Players can craft their own weapons and use stealth to move forward in the game. Players also do a lot of interesting side quests that most of the time are intertwined directly with the main ones. There is lots of humor, lots of bloody adventures, and a lot of extreme and outrageous characters for fans to love and hate. Here are our top 5 side quests you should not miss in Atomic Heart. Starting off with number 5, it is Petrov of Opera. In this chilling side quest, the player is called to capture Petrov, a traitor who is hiding in a theater. But to enter the theater, the player must first unlock the door. And this is not a loot the key from a body and unlock quest, but something much more sinister. In the entrance hall, there are 4 robot ballerina statues, all of them in different poses and some dead men hanging around them from cables. The player must find the correct way to place these statues so that the door opens. The correct way recreates the scenes of the brutal murders. In each ballerina statue, there is a button that when pressed, it shows which pose the ballerina should take. Behind the ballerina, there is a white wall that shows her shadow and the dead men's shadows, along with some blood splatter. The player must match the dead bodies' shadows hanging around the ballerinas, with the movement that shows the pose they took while killing them. The easiest way to do this is to pay attention to the blood splatter. At number 4, it is The Major, The Witch, and The Warehouse. In this quest, the player has to find body parts of Claire. After they reach the bottom floor, go through the maintenance rooms, and solve a quick puzzle to open a door. They are in the service room area. There is a spinning wheel in front of them, which shows some very unsettling scenes in a box-like space. Now the player must find Claire's leg, so they keep spinning the wheel until a scene appears which lets them go through the box-like room and into a corridor. Then there are 2 more wheels and 2 more scenes that the player has to match in order to continue. After running around and killing some enemies, the player finds yet another wheel, and they have to jump right through the scene in this one. Things start to get a lot weirder, since the following scenes in the wheels don't even match gravity or a normal continuation path. At number 3, it is As You Sow, So Shall You Reap. This is one of the hardest side quests in the game, for a lot of reasons. There is a lot of running and climbing around, so players who get lost easily are going to have a hard time with this. The goal is to deliver a yellow canister to the gate, and the player can do that by moving the canister on a train car, manually. But the operational control panels are all over the place, literally. For those whose idea of fun is jumping from platform to platform in a never-ending the floor is lava game, this quest might just prove satisfying. Although the player can touch the floor, in most cases that would mean that they fell and must jump again and again. In short, this quest will leave most players wondering who the architect of these rooms was, and why they put the operational buttons in the hardest reachable places. The ending of the quest leaves the player with a bad taste. At number 2, it is Blood Courier. A lot of gamers might choose to skip a part of this quest, but it's worth doing, if for nothing else, then definitely for the amount of loot and materials they can get. There is a door with a code in the Pavlov complex, and the code to unlock it is smartly hidden in the basement of the building. Once the player is there, they will realize that the hospital ward looks like a crime scene. If they line up their perspective, they can find the hidden code. After this, they can put the code and the door opens to reveal 5 chests with some delicious loot. At number 1, it is Country House. Granny Zina is one of the most interesting and beloved characters in the whole game. In the Country House quest, the player needs to go through some lovely woods while trying to find her house. Even though there are signs of distress, the area of the house looks more or less well kept. And then there is the surprise of the actual house, which might not be what the player expects from a grandma, but it is what the player should expect from Granny Zina, who is another Baba Yaga figure, fighting for the good guys. She comes to the player's rescue by descending upon an enemy with her rocket-propelled house, a classic Slavic cottage with all the little things someone would expect to find in an old lady's house. And to make the Baba Yaga theme even more pronounced, she has a robot pet that is a little house on chicken legs. This tiny quest ends with a cutscene, showing the player and Granny Zina watching some interesting hacked information on her TV. Hope you enjoyed our video. Please hit like and subscribe our channel to support us. Thanks for watching.